What up, though, man? Welcome back to another episode of the CP Podcast, man. I'm your host, CP, and this is CP Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the shit CP want to talk about. And if you don't want to talk about shit CP want to talk about, you already know what you can goddamn do, but y'all don't want to do that because y'all hear it. This is what we do. Now, to my right, a knight in a fight for what's right is Maya. Maya, how are you?
Great.
How's Roman?
Roman is fantastic.
How's Tony?
Good. Good.
Getting on your nerves, huh? All right. And then he's good. He won't pick his fucking socks up. But no, just joking. All right. And then back in the motherfucking black t-shirt and the black hat. You know what I'm saying? Blacker than black, because he's black, y'all. We got Amir in the building. What's up, brother?
What's good?
All right, so now y'all don't see Amir on the camera because we have another camera set up. We got two guests, even though one of them not gonna stay long, but he just like to argue, man. So you know, and then the other one is no stranger to the CP Podcast. One of the sponsors that we have here, Nico. Give it up for Nico. Nico Kitchen Shop. What up? How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
I like the glasses.
Here. Oh, you know, makes me look a little studious.
Okay,
you know
I feel it. Always watching you, Wazowski. Always watching you. All right, so we was in here talking about singers and vocalists. Now, mind you, Maya said she's not even in this because she was like, whatever. Even though Maya loves Beyonce and all that, but y'all just be on her too much about the singing or anything. So we're not even gonna go there. I'm gonna say, and this is what I said. Now y'all might slander me. I think that voice for voice, if we had to have a playoff of voices, right? And so, you know, all your favorite voices got to be in the playoffs and they like in the bracket, like a tourney, right? Voice for voice for the national championship. I think Justin Bieber could sing better than Beyonce.
Wow, that's blasphemy.
Is it?
That's
exactly.
It's blasphemous.
Y'all think he got a
He's not gonna make it in the playoffs.
He's
not
exactly.
I don't know.
Wait. Okay. So if you're coming to Justin Bieber and Chris Brown, you think Chris Brown gonna win?
Yeah, easily.
Y'all, is Justin Bieber not cold?
No.
That's cool, but
Let's listen to acapella.
He's cold for a white boy. That's why he's
Is that
cold.
what it is? He cold for a white boy?
Cold for
I thought the nigga was soulful.
No, for
I'm
a
putting
white
Justin
boy.
Timberlake over Justin Bieber
all day.
Absolutely.
Hell no.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Timberlake over Bieber?
Yes. Robin Thicke over
Man,
Bieber.
Robin Thicke over Justin Bieber.
Absolutely.
I agree.
My name is Brennan. I agree with all the statements of all the people that said over Justin Bieber.
Man, the nigga's on crack now. Pull up when he was a child.
Wait, this is a...
It's okay.
He's cold for a white boy.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Somebody just
When
agreed with me.
nobody's saying that he can't sing, we're just saying that the other people that have been named sing better than him, have more of a range, they just know what to do with their voice better and have more range than he does.
What up, D-Law? I see you.
Definitely.
I'm about to go into the chat, man. You the only one with me over here on Patreon. That's how you get in. We gotta go to the chat. All right.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Someone mentioned Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's up there. Michael Jackson's dead.
Yeah,
but we talking dead or alive.
Oh,
Dead or Alive? You're talking
Dead or alive
Alive.
go crazy.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Dead
so
or
maybe
Alive
we
is
not
way
talking
too
dead or
many
alive.
people.
Maybe
Way
not
too many
talking-
people.
You said that Michael Jackson got his nose fixed so he could sing better. Is that
That's
true?
what he said. He said he could do that so he could hit a higher note.
I can't believe Mike
heard
said
that
that because
too.
that might
Yeah.
make me start thinking Mike be lying about everything. Nigga, you got that nose. You know damn well you could have put a piece of tissue on the side of that bitch. He could have got a nose ring and then not wear the nose ring and let the hole be a little bit.
Okay, whistles?
Yeah. He could have. He didn't even have no nostrils. Nigga, you didn't do that for us. He was trying to get to the cocaine faster.
I thought that he, didn't he have that skin condition that made it so that he was losing his melanin regardless? And then-
Vitiligo?
Vitiligo, yeah.
Yeah, so he had that, and then also he didn't.
Winnie Harlow got vitiligo. Nose look nosy than the motherfucker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You look at the pictures of him when he's a kid.
Michael
Michael Jackson
Jackson.
had a very wide nose.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he got made fun of by his brothers by that a lot.
Who could make fun of nigga? I'm 8
that
years
was
old.
more
I'm
of a
richer than all
self-hate type
y'all.
of thing.
Like nigga,
His
this
dad beat
nose
the fuck out of him.
for having a big ass nose.
Just in general, made him feel bad.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Breathe so loud, nigga.
Yeah, but when your dad ugly,
and I mean,
dog,
he was born. Michael Jackson was born in the 50s, right?
nigga, Michael Jackson
Okay, so
dad
there's
is
like
a
a-
reptilian.
It's a lot of
He's in-
deeply
he's in
rooted,
50s.
Was it
you know,
50s?
self-hate.
He's born in the
you know?
50s, and then
Yeah.
being black, out superstar.
Yeah.
He got some shit. As a child, he was like one of the first
50.
like early child stars in that regard.
Right.
And then you got your
Yeah.
dad beating you, and then the society looking at you like, N-word.
And the only people that you're supposed to be like close with that have your back are making fun of your nose.
Pause, bro. This nigga was a cute little kid, dog.
To us.
He
To
was,
us.
but back then,
Damn, that's true.
it
To
was
us, that's crazy.
exactly.
Monkeys be thinking monkeys out cold. Sharks be thinking sharks out cold. We be like, look at this alligator. The mama alligator be like, that's my baby. You know, that's my baby right there. But no, I think what's crazy.
You remember this song?
Yeah.
Hey, who doesn't? I want
Yeah.
you back.
Yeah. Look how
He
he's
was a
rocking that hat,
beautiful
man. Nigga had that, man. Michael's that nigga, man.
Look at that. The dancing, man. Michael
This nigga was
danced.
fucking Diana Ross as a child. You couldn't tell me anything.
He was what?
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 Where do we hear this news?
You just be saying shit, bro. What are you
Y'all don't
talking
think that?
about?
Because
Y'all
I've
don't think the
never
nigga
heard
was fucking
this.
Diana Ross? Are
No.
you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. Somebody help
This
me
is
out
a
here.
first. This is a
I
first.
ain't never heard nobody.
You've
know
never heard that?
Never.
Maybe when he
You've
was a
never heard the
young
conspiracy
man.
that Diana Ross took him to a Hollywood party in either 84 or 79. I know it's a 5-year difference, but it's one of those 2 years, very important. And the nigga OD'd at the party.
No shit.
Like
Nigga,
Deanna
what?
Ross or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, nigga, it's a rumor, quote unquote, that Michael Jackson OD'd at a Hollywood Hills party.
Where did
in
you hear this?
Listen, bro. This is a conspiracy podcast, right?
And that's the thing is normally you also
Nigga,
question the
nigga,
source.
who
like,
the
where did it come
who the
from?
fuck heard flat Earth, nigga? It can't be a nigga who been up there, right? So this my shit. Let me rock, nigga. Look. Now, so they said the nigga OD'd, and they said that the cover up for it was the Pepsi commercial Fire.
No shit.
And that they had to prep a lookalike, and that we haven't had Michael Jackson since around that time, after some of his best music came out. If you notice, Mike's music kind of went down. I don't know. Remember the time was lit, but it did sound like a bunch of it just wasn't. It was like a lot. That was AI. I don't know. That's what they say.
You just went off a deep end for me.
I did not, bro. This is a real conspiracy that you can look up. Did Michael Jackson die in the 80s or 70s and be replaced with a clone after
Now, I did
ODing
hear
at a
about-
party with Diana Ross?
I heard about the clone part, but I didn't hear about that being
Well,
a
we
cover
about to learn some shit today. We didn't even know what today was going to be about. I didn't know. I was going to be surprised. But
So 1984, but even after that, when did Bad come out?
89, I think.
That's
Yeah,
still a
it's
great
Thriller.
album.
That is one of his
Yeah,
greatest
that's
best
one of
albums.
the best.
I agree.
ones.
I agree.
Yeah.
But how does that? But that kills your whole thing. 'Cause you're
I
like,
know
well,
it does. I know it does. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
87, yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hold on. Ready for this? What if
Oh, here we go.
What if the powers that be? Okay, now you guys are familiar with Into the Metaverse and these different
Wait,
things.
Dangerous too. The Dangerous album came after that too.
I get it, Brendan. Everything after the fucking date I named is fucking classic. I get that. But listen. That's, can we wormhole or what? What the fuck?
Sorry, man.
No
So
Diddy, goddamn.
When you're
Listen.
running the diamond in the wormhole, there's a problem.
Listen. Okay. We are going to talk about K.Dex, but listen. What if somebody very important, like clone is such a lowbrow idea that everybody can, Gucci Mane is a clone. So-and-so is a clone. Yeah, that could be that. But what if certain people who have influence, especially in entertainment or whatever, they're too important to die, right? Eminem, right? Remember how Eminem came back? Different eye color, different hair color, different all overall demeanor, and different music. A lot more calculated, a way different beat setup than what we were ever even used to. Listen, hold on before you talk. Listen. What if they're going to the metaverse and grabbing another you to replace you with here, as opposed to a clone? Somebody who has different, I'm just saying.
I can't.
Bro,
That's why you don't have me on this podcast.
Eminem's
because you be
eyes changed.
You be going off the deep end. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Bro,
like,
all I'm saying
I got
is
nothing.
this.
Like Eminem
Listen.
stopped doing drugs. Like that's what happened.
Nigga, when you stop doing drugs, your eyes don't go from blue to brown.
Okay, well, look, you can talk about eye color you want, but I'm talking about the way that he raps and the way that he approaches life, and his whole demeanor changed.
He
because
never,
stopped doing drugs.
nigga. So you stop doing drugs and come up
And
with
because-
seven lemon, lima, lemon. You been assuming I'm a what I gotta
before
do
that,
to
he
make it.
didn't
Come
give
on, man.
I'm just saying though, when he did drugs, he didn't give a shit. Like he didn't give a shit, and now all he does is give a shit. He's like, I want you guys to look at me as the greatest rapper of all time. I'm gonna show you technically that I'm untouchable. In every
How's
way, shape,
that
or form.
Kool-Aid, Brendan? Because you're fucking loving
Oh
it.
my god!
Who made that Kool-Aid? Who made this Kool-Aid? Mama? Mama must have made this
The
Kool-Aid.
thing is, I like to just point out that CP, one of your greatest talents in life, as you pointed out on the episode that you did with us when it came to roasting, of how to roast and how to do it, was a deflection. Because you were wrong about something and you turned it into something completely different in the same damn breath. And when I tried to bring it back, you did the same shit, deflected again, and now I'm wrong about the shit that I just said.
You know what's crazy? Some could argue that you were wrong the whole time.
See?
Because no. Some could argue. Some being me, I could argue that you was wrong the whole time, and I just had to defend my point. All I asked you was to think about a hypothetical. Like, there are things that we don't even know we don't know, right? And to in order to achieve these kind of thoughts, you have to think outside the box that you might not even think that you in. You might think you outside the box, right? Well, you in another box that's bigger.
I'd like
than
to
that
have
box.
whatever you smoked before you got here.
It was pretty good.
I bet it was. I bet it was. I want some of that.
What do you smoke? You smoke indica sativa.
I smoke sativas.
Incredible Hulk shit.
Because of how much I have to.
You got to do stuff.
Right, but then also like indicas when I want to shut it all down. Right, well, that's when I want to just. But I'm gonna tell you what I really am on right now. I'm on a 60-day video game fast.
Wow. That's a big deal.
It's a very huge deal because I didn't realize how much I was addicted. And certain things, granted, I was a pro gamer. Shit, what was that? Last year I had that contract with caffeine. That's pro game. They gave me more money than I've ever spent on a video game ever. So therefore, I'm in the black in gaming. You know what I'm saying? I've got the return from a lifetime of gaming just in that 1 year, right? But I'll say this, though. In the time, I've learned how to not be justifiably lazy. And what I mean by that is I think that lazy is something that you can control. If you can't control it, then that's not lazy, right? But if you have a legitimate excuse that you can give yourself and then you still go above that, that's what I deem as not being lazy, right? So like I could go work out this morning, but it's like, man, I had a late show last night. I got in at like 2:30. I'm correct. I do need rest, right? But it's also like, at the same time, nigga, push yourself, right? Get up and go to the gym. If you like that, if I have the thought to do it, then I don't do it and give myself an excuse, that's lazy.
You could always go for 15 minutes too and just do a few reps of certain things. And you could be like, I'll do 15 minutes and then I'll see where I am.
But that in itself is not being lazy because I could also just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about, right? So I think that some of the things that have happened to me in these last 2 months of not playing any video games has really opened my eyes to how much free time that I have and how even myself, somebody who thinks of themselves as a high thinker or a high achiever, can be distracted by shit that I don't even realize, right? It's like, fuck, like, nigga, I missed out on a lot. I've been doing hella shit, like hella other shit. I be bored as fuck sometimes, but then I go do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I came here, I got work done on my script. I fucking did. Shout out to Brendan for hopping on my cartoon. Bro, I got to work on shit in ways that, anyway. So
that was fun.
I found a good, it's kind of a concept. It's called the Noonday Devil, Acadia. And these monks, in these monasteries in the 13th century, they would say this like noonday feeling of listlessness, like not want to do your work.
Yeah.
They say it's like a certain kind of demon that comes and keeps you from achieving your goals.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you, this goes right back into what I was saying. How could a demon keep you from achieving a goal that theoretically should not exist if it distracted you? If those demons in space and time, like the ability to see your future, there are things beyond you that could see your future and your path in ways that you can't. Because why would something need to distract me on a spiritual level from something that I can't even see? Today is today. If I was going to game, I was going to game. If I was going to be lazy, I'm going to be lazy, right? But something bigger than me is seeing the bigger picture way down the line that I don't see. Like, there are forces working against you that know the future for you.
I mean, well,
and for you.
Not getting into too much Catholicism, they say that the demons don't know more than you do, but you know a lot. You secretly know a lot, so you can give them information. Like psychics do cold readings. You ever heard of a cold reading?
Yeah, but when they say shit like demons don't know a lot, the biggest pot of knowledge, like if you see me and I can't see you, and I think you know more than I know.
But that's okay. And I was
right?
just,
If you're on a different plane than I am,
I agree for once.
you feel what I'm saying?
I'm just going by Catholic dogma.
right. I get
No,
that.
I know
but
what
what
you're
I'm
doing.
just
No,
telling you what it
I'm
is.
not saying I disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying what he just said is like, if I can see you and you don't know that I'm even here, then I know more than you.
yeah.
And there is truth to that. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying. It's just like, if there's a ninja in this ceiling right now watching us, that motherfucker knows more about us than we
He
know
know
about it.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He know what the back of our head look like. I know that sound crazy. You don't know what the back of your head look like all the time.
Fact.
Not all the
Yeah.
time. That's a good
Not
point.
all the time. So like what
That's
I'm
how
saying,
we get messed up with
what I'm
leaves in
saying
our
is
hair.
like this week has been proved to me. You stupid. This week has been proved to me that like I forgot what I was gonna say because you just fucking anytime Maya crack a joke, you be
I know.
like,
She does it with like
she
dead hands. She's just
Yeah.
like, bam, joke. And you be like,
Yeah.
wait, oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah. It's proven
Noonday
to
Devil.
me that every law
Mhm.
is true and is true throughout the universe, which means that like other
Laws of physics,
laws
yes.
are proving other laws. If you want to see the law of this, you can look at the law of the smallest little thing
Mhm.
because they abide by the same law of
Exactly.
of relativity and growth. All those things are there in the small things that are true in the bigger things, right? And I've been thinking like, dog, they found a new orca. They found 2 new orcas. Look at Brendan and them over there talking shit. Hey man, focus, man.
I really was talking shit too.
I know
I'm
you
playing.
was. I
But
know.
it wasn't about you.
Nah, I just know you. So listen, here's the thing. They found a new orca, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so you mean to tell me that there is a science
I heard about that.
and they found 2 new orcas actually.
Yeah, you mean so
2 new
you got-
species.
2 new
subs.
subtypes.
Yeah.
Subspecies because they're still anatomically very similar, but
Yeah.
it's more so like there's 2 different types of orcas that we know about. There's the terrestrial, like ones that stay in the same place,
Mhm.
and there's the ones that travel, like that we know those routes that they travel. And they found some that are just like, wait, they don't fit in any one of these categories.
Yeah, but also
we
but
never
it's-
knew they were there.
But it's not just there are some that stay local, quote unquote, and some that travel. But then out of that, there are like it's a bunch of different like subspecies. I think it's like 17 that they have of different orcas from around the world that speak different languages, eat different foods.
They call them cultures. Yeah,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Similar to who else on this planet?
humans.
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
right. We can go whales. I'll take it to. We can go as far as you want to go.
Right. Well, these are dolphins. First of all,
They are.
these are whale killers.
Yes.
Killer whale. Right. But now here's the thing that kind of fascinated me. There is a science dedicated to the understanding of all of this marine biology. Right. Yeah. Those are all of the orcas. How can there be a science on something that we only know 10% of?
Oh, there's science on everything, but it's just adding together what we know, and then when things start to get beyond that, like it'll merge or become a new science.
So, just to put it into perspective, that's like we don't know about these monoliths, right?
Oh, the monolith.
I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
We don't know about these monoliths,
Yeah.
right? They're new, relatively new. So the science against what these monoliths are, where they come from, or the idea that even if these aren't like alien or something like that, the fact that things can pop up on the planet, like it should be an open dialogue with the public about what these things could be, because it's like, how are you gathering science on some shit that nobody knows what the fuck it is? And I know you're gonna pull up the fact that some artist claims that he did those monoliths, but of course they would. Of course they would.
I mean, it's just the most likely explanation.
It's not though. It's put it like this. It's the most delicious explanation. It's the here you go so you can sleep at night. Here's something tasty for you. Some bullshit. That's what it feels like, right? Or because it's not just 2 on the planet. It's actually quite a few.
Yeah, they're popping up all over the world. This seems like something like these tech billionaires would do to get people's attention because they're so clean and
what if somebody is pushing them up from underground?
there's a possibility.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
I
a
mean,
theory.
we
you
gotta
feel me? There could what do they line up with? How long did it take us to figure out that the pyramids line up to the stars? What do they line up with?
Oh, did you finish watching that Joe Rogan thing? Joe Rogan, Graham Hancock was in it.
No. I didn't watch it.
Because
And
that guy, that guy made a really good point, and he's just a buzzkill. He's like an archaeology buzzkill,
Mhm.
and he's like, when you do the math on that, you could really put in any number here, and it will come out after multiplying it by like 430,000 or whatever to the Earth's circumference to within 1 or 2 percentage points.
Oh,
And he
he's one-
did it.
He's like one of those people that you're like, oh my God, we're all excited about this thing. He's like, it's nothing.
Yeah, he's one of those people. And it's
Oh,
like a 4.5 hour
See, people
podcast.
love him.
Well, that's the thing. Like anybody, I love people who think they know everything and don't understand how ignorant you're supposed to be, right? Like we don't have these answers. And anybody who was quick to answer shit for you, you saw what they did with the moon landing. You understand it now more and more. Every year we realize that there's a very strong possibility that shit was fake. And so it's like, yeah, anybody who's offering you these quick ass, it's like, okay.
Well, he did the math.
I mean, what math though?
He calculated the math because you're saying they line up.
They do shit online. You better put your birthday in here. Then the day you were born. Then and it come up to a number that because numbers, you could just do shit with numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that goes both
it's 90
ways.
degrees outside because somebody told you that was what 90 felt like. And
Well-
with a number, like we don't even like what?
That's measuring natural phenomenon, but what he's doing is just doing number
No,
tricks.
The point that I'm trying to get
and
to you is
pointing out
that
how it's a number trick.
is that outside is 90 or it's what 60 Celsius or it's,
Yeah.
like some, like not 60 Celsius is fucking probably burning up or some
It's
shit
really
like that.
hot, yeah.
Right,
but I see what you mean.
You see what
I
I'm
know
saying?
you
It's just a manipulation of just this is what we say and it's just terms.
As for natural phenomenon, as long as you can agree upon the measurement, then it's one of those.
Yeah, like we all accept
agree.
it.
We know what 90 degrees means, or we know what this means.
We
So
have
we just agree
established-
upon it. Yeah.
We have established what 90 degrees means, right?
Yeah.
But there was no way to tell what the weather was back in the days of, you know what I'm saying? Like
No.
right?
Well, I mean, there are ways, but there's not ways to go to a day
Right.
10 million years ago and say it was this temperature.
Because
It's
that
beyond us.
temperature and that term didn't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
And so why would you?
Right, but life still existed and realities and laws still existed, and that's what I mean. This shit, there's shit here that we're trying to explain that predates us and will exceed our day.
I wonder, and I'm not a specialist in metals.
Mhm.
This would be interesting to look up. If they could take a filing from that and see where the metal came from
Mhm.
and when it was smelted. That's what you'd have to do to go around all these
you
monoliths.
look
I like
up-
how you looked at me like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, actually. Like,
It's
I
right behind
Can you see? Can you see?
Oh, I
if,
thought you looked at me. I'm
They
like,
were
well,
all
actually,
the
yes, they
same
can. I'm like, I
shapes,
have no
they
I didn't think you were
Can
gonna
you-
talk to me
oh
this whole
my
time.
God.
No,
Yeah,
just now.
Jesus
You just the way you
Christ.
turned. I thought you looked at me. I'm like, I have
Brendan,
no
like,
idea.
well, I am God. So let me tell you. But no, here's the thing: has there been any monoliths on any other planets?
I don't know if we would know that.
Right. Yeah.
How many
I
other
don't think that we
planets are
would
there?
know.
Yeah.
My point is, can you just type it in and see? Are there any
I would say
monoliths?
I'm assuming Mars. That's what we would have access
That's
to.
what we would have access
I know.
to.
I'm just here for the K-Dot
Well,
conversation.
no, but also pictures as well, images. I don't know. We could do a lot with a little, or we have more than we think we do.
The Phobos, sorry, monolith.
Yeah, look at the shadow that it casts.
That could be I'm like, it's maybe
It could be what on a barren.
it could be like a rock that is higher than it is
Mhm.
wider.
So why can't we find more? Why is that one special to be on Google?
It's the first thing that came up.
Right, but I'm just saying. So that's something that could be something that we landed there.
Could be. Let's see if there's better pictures of it.
Go to down by
Oh, this guy says it's not. Wait, where do you want to go?
all the way to next to the one that looks just like that. In between, down. That one.
This one?
Yep, that one.
One of Brennan's pointing. I can't even.
Sorry.
I mean, it's interesting, but it doesn't look like it's symmetrical completely.
I mean, it looks a lot more symmetrical than something that's there by mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? And see, like, so these are the kind of questions that when you, of course, people are saying that they're making up fake, and of course that's with anything. But like, who would think to ask a question? Is this the first planet with a monolith? Obviously, a lot of people. Right? It's like, oh, are there any more on any other planets? Why would you ask that? Google it. Oh, maybe there is. It's like, man, everything is not. There's stuff on this planet that is brand new every day. Because if this planet was 10 billion years old, the way that they're telling us it is, and we are only, like, you ever fly from coast to coast and look at how much land we don't even touch? in the United States.
There's a lot of unused land
You'd be
in
like,
the United
dog,
States.
this look like Mars.
Just
Or
in
this look
Nevada
like,
alone.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think that it'd be so funny when people laugh at the questions that I have, because it'd be like, well, I mean, an inquisitive mind is I'm just trying to spark some theories. Of course, we all understand that I don't know. I'm not there, because if I knew what a monolith was and where it came from, you know me, I'd be the first nigga in here like, they came from goddamn China. They making them next to the Nike factory. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, you know, I don't know. But I think that I'm worthy of knowing. And if I don't know, then like why am I outside of the knowledge? Like, that's my problem with like the government and the shit. Like, who are they to tell me that I don't get to know before I die what this universe is really about?
Do you think they know it?
I think that they know more than they're telling us. I think that if they shared the knowledge with us, these old motherfuckers who are the gatekeepers in the government, look at them. Like the ones who've been in these programs, I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but the ones that have been in these programs since the 60s and 70s, who the information is so pertinent, they can't even really have a successor for real. So now you're looking at Mitch McConnell and all these rundown old motherfuckers, and they don't think that the way that we think with the technology that we have, like they didn't give the public a chance to help them with the thought process.
See, I think that it's nice to believe that there's someone there who knows a lot. And I think that they know some stuff. Like, they recently released the Gateway things with the CIA. The CIA does a lot of different work.
The Stargates or?
The Gateway is how you can manipulate your brain.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. See that.
You know, they release things like this, but I'm starting to believe that there isn't anyone there that knows everything, or that knows a whole lot, and they're kind of flying blind. And it's part of this like confidence thing. You know how when people say things with confidence, you trust them, even though like they might not know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of that. They just, and the Trumps do this very, very well.
Right.
They just won't refute you, and they'll just let you assume that they know a lot of stuff. But then behind the scenes, it's like they're flying blind too.
And I think that here's how I think. What if? Okay, you ever see there was a show on Netflix called Lock and Key. The idea was that there was a family that had a magical house, and this family had these abilities, and these keys held the abilities, right? Mm-hmm. But the keys were spread out, right? No one person is supposed to have all the keys, because if that person dies or anything happens to that person, then the keys are in danger. So the keys they get spread out, right? So now what if there's a council of government people who are permanent government, not somebody you could vote in and vote out, permanent government people who together are the collective knowledge that have these things.
Like bloodlines, the bloodline theory.
Exactly.
You know what? Honestly, it's possible. That's something you can't really refute, because there are powerful families that go back a long time. And then you think like Obama can be traced to certain kings. Mm-hmm. Like the presidents can be traced to certain kings. And that's because, you know, our ruling class comes from the English and and you go through all that time. So it can be explained away. But then again, there are families that were so powerful in history. You really think that they just let themselves die off? Right.
I think that what's crazy is that the mindset that they try to feed the public is to make them think that what they did is so impossible for anybody else to do. Like, that's how you maintain superiority, and the allure of you being special is to have an ability that you think nobody else can match. But it's like, that's just simply not fucking true, unless those people have direct access to new DNA that is alien, whether they are direct Anunnaki ascendants, shit like that will make them elite in a way that is not an even playing field, then that's one thing. But it's like, dog, them weakening, the fact that they have to dullen and weaken our immune systems and our neurotransmissions and shit like that, the fact that they have to do that lets you know how powerful we don't know we are. And you said that earlier about we have abilities that
they're just untapped.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We don't work on them. Intuition is a big one.
You think that we don't work on them on purpose with all the things that we're taught to work on, that we do work on?
It's a matter of programming as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we're taught to work out, so we work out. We was taught to drink milk.
Not everyone works out. Most people don't work out.
Terrible.
But what I'm saying is that I don't work out. But I'm just saying,
you don't work out?
I mean, I do enough to look exactly how I looked yesterday. But I'm not finna, like, I ain't trying to sexy y'all out. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be. You know, I've already been on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, they accepted me. I played the boyfriend and had my shirt off. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like, there has to be a reason why we're not taught directly how to be self-sufficient in the way that we're all born to be.
Spiritually, you mean?
Nah, I don't even mean spiritually. I mean like literally being able to tap into parts of our brain. Like it should be like the way that they release a PS5 is how they should roll out. We just found out how to do a new brain unlock. We want y'all to check out this new brain unlock. What it is if you do this with your thumb, it's like it's shit like that on our bodies that we don't know about. Holding your belly
like
button
the
and take a
mudras and
screenshot.
things like that.
Eastern medicine.
Yeah.
Eastern medicine goes into it.
It ain't even. I don't think it goes
But
farther than Eastern medicine.
It doesn't go as deep as what you're talking
like
about.
there are things on our bodies that we don't even know. You press this and the ability to fly, I'm telling you, it's
We
shit.
do not have the ability to fly.
I guarantee you, we have the ability to do more than you think.
We have but not fly. Because we can't break the laws
Maya,
of physics.
Maya, yes, we can. And I'm explaining to you why. Because there have been people, people tap into shit by mistake. Like the ability to make the fart sound like this. It was some first motherfucker who did that. And everybody started to be able to do it. It was the first motherfucker that could spin a ball on their finger. Somebody did that first, right? It's people who, can move things with their mind.
Yeah, that hasn't been proven either.
I think it has.
No, it hasn't. There's a guy who will give you $1 million if you can prove that.
Well, of course I can't prove it because I can't do it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's an easy meal for Buddy Boy. But I'm telling you that it's just, you really don't believe that somewhere in this world, in the history of our people, that there's not a person who found a way to move things with their mind. We see it too much.
When do we see it?
In media, in movies. That's a part of the programming. Like, I don't have to know the person to know, like, okay, the Montauk Monsters, right? What they based Stranger Things on, they were doing psychic kids who had the ability to astral project. You could astral project, and that's a fact.
The men who stare at goats kind of thing.
I don't know about niggas staring at no ghosts, no shit like that.
Well, the CIA did a lot of experiments, and some of them, they came back more than statistical average, but telekinesis is what you're talking about. It's a very specific thing.
Do you think that...
that hasn't been proven? There was this guy called Uri Geller who tried to go around and prove that he had done this, and everyone's like, oh, we see. And then they revealed he was a fraud.
Okay, but that's like, roadside magic is one thing, but the CIA, like, what do you think would make them begin to investigate and invest that kind of money into figuring out whether or not telekinesis is real, other than the fact that they might have, like, listen.
Because the Soviets were doing it. The Soviets were really into metaphysics. They did a lot of study in metaphysics.
Yeah, but
so they don't want the Soviets to find out something before we found out something.
And guess what? The Soviets are the ones that were going into the Congo and different parts of the world where people aren't really allowed in because these people have direct link to their ancestors and have not been touched civilization wise, who probably have a lot more mental capacity than we do based on what they eat, the way that they think, their connection to nature. Like, they might have unlocked some shit that we don't even know about. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I just don't rule it out, because you see it, like, see what they're trying to do in the media or in, that programming is about finding the ones who can. They're putting out fillers. They want to let you bend a spoon with your mind. They're coming to fucking get you because they've been looking for you.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this guy who will give you James Randi. For the longest time, he was giving people $1 million. He's like, I will give you $1 million cash if you can bend this spoon with your mind.
Right, but
Maya, no one was able to.
That doesn't, right, but because the real person who could bend a spoon with their mind doesn't need $1 million.
So you fill up your bank account with a bent spoon?
Nah, the spoon is the tip of the iceberg. I could fill up my bank account with a lot more shit if I could bend metal. Like, if I could do certain shit, like, yes, like you could like, bending the spoon is like a baby doing their first push-up to the mind of the person who could do that. Because pretty soon, like, shit, I could crack piggy banks, or I could fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can, like, I just think that
I mean, you can lift a spoon or you can lift a ton. And just because you can lift a spoon doesn't mean you can lift a ton.
I get that, but just because you can do one push-up don't mean that you can do 500 until you can. If you're lifting a spoon every day, next thing you know, you'll be lifting a camera. Now you lifting. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's no coincidence that this is what, like, hey, you heard that new conspiracy that the Pentagon is also a movie studio. Like, the Pentagon funds movies and picks.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They'll give equipment and so forth. Like you see a movie that has a battle cruiser in or something like that. Has something from the...
I'm not talking about renting out props. I'm talking about, like, they fund certain subject matter. The U.S. government. Now, why would the U.S. government have any type of, like, they literally like, oh, yeah, we want to make this kind of movie. Like, the U.S. government is or the Pentagon specifically. Look this up, please. Because this is something I came across.
No, I mean, they do this. They do. They will make sure
I
that...
had no idea. Look, I'm looking it up now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Because it's easier to win the hearts and minds than it is to go in and battle people. So you send out a movie and it changes people's opinions. It's much easier than sending in troops.
Guess what, though? Some of these movies include movies that show our allies in an elevated light and our enemies in a demonic style light in order to push the agenda of who we have beef with and who we don't. And a lot of them be military movies.
Oh, yeah, of course, military movies.
Bro, the military used to use, like, Call of Duty as a way to recruit.
Yeah, some of the best people on there, quote unquote. But you also know that
they had an esports team too.
Yeah, but do you know what also they're working on, right? So they have also something called the Avatar program, where there are super soldiers who are on and hooked up to fucking machines somewhere deep under mountains, and they're controlling super soldier android robots with their minds. Those are when they come get them kids for their Call of Duty, they're not getting these nerdy, fat ass, little Dorito eating ass kids to go out there on the fucking battlefield. And no, that mental capacity, like, that's what they're coming to get.
Were you talking about the movie Avatar?
No, not at all. There's something.
But that's the plot of the movie Avatar.
It is the plot of the movie Avatar, and I'm sure that the movie Avatar has something to do with. I mean, like, look at what the subject matter was about. It was about, destroying the habitat of the indigenous for big business. And why nobody has done that more than the United States and our government. Like, we come in and say, fuck this indigenous shit we built. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it was
all
a
major
movie.
Governments do that.
Yeah, but, I mean, who was the powerhouse? Who the main one? Because you go overseas.
Right now?
I mean, well, not right now. The most notorious for what we have done. I think we all know that. It could be argued based on statistics and all of that, but you know how America gets down. You understand what has to be done so that we can have fucking cameras and PlayStations and, slip and slides and barbecues. You understand that there's a dark side to what has to happen.
Now, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Would you give up all those things if it meant also giving up the military programs?
I wouldn't give up shit because they didn't do that for me to have that. I'm a casualty of war in a good way. They didn't, like, that shit ain't about me having all that shit. They're gonna do that shit regardless. It's about them having money. Like, America is a big ass resort. Everybody come over here and eat good, fuck good, jet ski and do whatever, and then they can go back to, wherever the fuck they're from. Like, they're not doing that shit so that a nigga from Detroit can have a barbecue with a fucking slip and slide and a go-kart. Nah, they doing that shit. Like, so I'm not finna give up shit.
But what if an ideology came through and said, we're gonna stop all this. We're gonna stop all these experiments, and everybody here has to give up their toys.
You know why they wouldn't do that? Because it's not going to be that's like a ceasefire, quote unquote. Let's just call it that. Why would you cease fire when your enemy is not ceasing fire? If we not the powerhouse and the fucking resort in this world, somebody else will be. Simple as that.
So no, you wouldn't go along with that ideology.
If I'm not riding my go-kart, somebody else riding their go-kart.
See, I think we're saying the same thing in two different ways. It's just like this is the trade-off.
I know for a fact that this is the trade-off, but what I'm saying is, like, we're not going to sit up there and act like this is not what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. The internet comes from military technology. Drones come from military technology.
Apollo 13 was one of the government movies.
Yeah, it popped
now,
up on the
that's
list. Iron Man.
Deep.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
GoldenEye. Yeah, that popped up on my
GoldenEye.
list
This
too.
is a list from military.com.
Yeah. Understand, like,
That's interesting. GoldenEye.
yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, I thought that was a little strange.
There's Black Hawk Down. I get why they would do that.
Because they want to be as accurate as possible. They're literally depicting, right? And
That's the thing that really,
right.
happened.
Same thing with Top Gun, right? But you look at like the Apollo 13 and how they would handle a meteor asteroid coming in, and they went and got these regular Joe drillers to go up there and drill into the. It's just like, it's very interesting, the programming that comes about. So we're more prepared for a big ass asteroid to come and we go up there and split that bitch in half than we are to understand how to teach our kids how to meditate in the schools.
Well, here, I'll tell you this. People do teach kids how to meditate.
I'm talking about in the curriculum, not the way that it's taught like PE, not the way we taught to do fucking jumping jacks.
This is true, but not everybody works out well with meditation. For some people, meditation is a waste of time. It actually works against them.
Yeah.
Some people, they need to improve through sport or they need to improve through an active thing. Meditating is very passive.
Right, but so they'll give kids some Ritalin, they'll give kids a diagnosis for all kind of behavioral disorders, but they won't slow down on the sugar and they won't teach these kids how to meditate. A lot of kids don't do good in math. A lot of kids don't do good in English. They don't learn that same way. They need to learn a different way. And it's like still, that shit is forced down our throat. They never stop teaching us about Christopher Columbus and how them niggas came over here and did what they had to do and all of that because they teach us what they want us to know. I'm telling you right now, like it's not an issue with them teaching kids how to be more metaphysical. You don't even they don't teach zodiac. They don't teach none of the.
Oh, they shouldn't teach it because we can't have any religious. We can't favor.
You think the
religion.
zodiac is religion?
Yeah, that's a religion. That's a new age.
No.
It ties into like spirituality.
Yeah, that's all spirituality. They can't be teaching that stuff in
but
school.
also is tied to a date and a month as opposed to a region, which means that if you were born on Earth on this day, you are a XYZ. It ain't about if you was born over here and you never heard about Jesus. And so whether or not you go into hell or not is one thing, but it's like, nah.
It's a different kind of religion. It's not all following Jesus or the Jewish religion or Muslim religion. Sometimes it's like Buddhism, like meditation might overlap with Buddhism and parents don't want their kids to learn about that. Yeah, because that's the major religion that practices meditation.
So I don't want my kids to learn about what the Pilgrims did to the Indians, but I don't have a choice.
Yeah, and I would say this, and I am very much for people taking their kids out of school and teaching them themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want something that's not in the curriculum, then you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, and I hate that because as soon as you say that's always the rebuttal. And you're right. It's like, well, teach your own kids. It's like, all right. Then it's like, okay, well, nah, you know what I'm saying? I get it, you know.
But it's like, where would we even go to change that curriculum as a whole? Like,
you get elected to the school board, and you should.
Yeah,
you should. You should look at school board elections in your town. Everybody should, and run for the school board and put yourself on the school board because whoever is there is going to.
And it's just based on the region that these schools are in, basically on the districts and whatnot.
Yes,
and put yourself in danger. Them white folks ain't finna let your ass come in there and tell they goddamn kids what they need to know. They're gonna be like,
teaching nutrition.
Get them the fuck out of here. My kids are fucking coming home with sea moss gummies? You think I give a fuck about a sea moss gummy? You know what I'm saying? What else? Also, I want to say this too. I've been watching my last 2 episodes of this, and I've been getting on my nerves. I've been kind of on the women. Duh, you got to be honest. I've been getting on like the women's ass. And it's like, man, like, oh, God, I hate when I'm human. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, you know, we got to take sides sometimes in this battle of the sexes. And but you got to also be a man and know when you've been coming across a little like, oh, man, like I love women, though. Let me stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think we all collectively have to do better, obviously. But I think that, like, it ain't my job to like that's not my bag. You know what I'm saying? Like some shit I will die on the hill for, right? I'm not finna fucking die on the hill for some shit that I don't really give a fuck about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the nigga over there dissing women, so I'm not finna be the nigga that's like, you know, keep your head up. I'm in my business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is. But I have noticed that, man. I think that, you know, we have to take responsibility for the way that we are received. I think that we all have all the emotions. Mm-hmm. You know, so you have all the emotions, and every day shit just come across. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think that see, the way I view this podcast is you'll say whatever, and I'll just give the opposite. So I'll check you.
Mhm.
Now, the podcast as a whole, instead of like you versus me versus Amir, the podcast as a whole should have still been fair to women. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. But at the same time, I think that
I don't think you're serious when you say a lot of these things.
Well,
Maybe people at home
man,
do. I don't know what the comments
that's
are
the
like.
thing. I'd be serious as fuck. I'd be like, ain't that another thing?
Oh,
but you know,
no.
but not like that. But what it is I think that there's a certain level of trust and love that we have to have between men and women because we aren't gonna understand it. Like, women are not wired to really understand us as men like that. Because if that was the case, then I think getting to know a man would ruin the process for you. I think that you learn about it as you go. You learn people. Like, I'm sure that, like, you know, you and Tony been married for 2 years now, going on 2 years.
2 years. We've been together for 11 years now.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, the process of getting to know Tony, I'm sure that you've learned a lot about just the male species. You know what I'm saying? I know you have brothers and all of that, but it's like, you know, you start to understand variance, right? You know, a man that was raised like you in your house with your, you know what I'm saying? But now you get to know somebody else who was raised differently. You know what I'm saying? And I think that dialogue between men and women needs to be without judgment, because I don't know why women make the decisions that they make.
I think it also varies. Women are not a monolith. Like, there's many different kinds.
Well, same with men, though. Why would you say that? I would think people just aren't monoliths.
Well, exactly.
Okay.
And someone said something really interesting the other day. And they said, this was on Twitter somewhere, and they basically said that there are people who are better at being in relationships than others. And that's a skill that needs to get taught in school. It's like psychology. Some people have no idea how to be in a long-term relationship. They don't know how to ask questions. They don't know how to listen. They don't know how to anticipate their partner's needs. So they think the person's being selfish, etc. But really, it's that this person, maybe it's their first relationship. Maybe their former partners never told them about things. So there's just a huge, wide variety of people who are great at being in a relationship. Like, if you worked in hospitality, I used to work in hospitality. You're probably better at being in a relationship than someone who's only ever worked at a computer.
Right. I worked in sales. So, like, you know, a lot of my life was having to deal with different styles of customers. Then customers became clients. So now that's a whole nother level of sales. I mean, when you're dealing with clients, you're not dealing in retail anymore. You're dealing in like service type of deal. You know, I used to write commercials. You know, that was like, I worked in advertising. So I definitely understand that. But I also think that, like, society is, oddly enough, forces relationships on very, very immature people. And then they just turn their back on them. And it's like, why is somebody trying to meet their soulmate at 20 years old? First of all, you're not even as tall as you about to be, half the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even, like, you don't even know, like, you have nothing to offer. You have nothing to offer anybody when you're 20 years old, because you don't even know what you're about to be. But we rush people out into this, go meet somebody. And it's like, fam, like, I think that, like, at 30, I was a lot more equipped as a man than I was at 20. I also understand that boys aren't really sought after, men are. So going where you celebrated and not tolerated and all, that whole conversation is really like for your training. Well, once you a man, you know where the fuck you're supposed to be at. Because I think that latter part of the man's life is when, you know, like, women are sought after even as girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for a very specific reason.
Well, right. But I think that for a man, it's not even that reason. Like, you got to grow up to be worthy. Like, you know what they say, money made the coochie go woo woo. You know, it's like, they said it on Friday, right? They said it on Friday. But that's a regular ass statement. But what that means is, like, there are certain aspects about being a man that I look back and be like, oh, why was I trying to get some pussy? I couldn't provide for shit. I couldn't protect shit. I was just like, who was in their right mind trying to give me some? A lot of bitches. No, I'm joking. But what I'm trying to say is, like, the point I'm trying to make is that it's just interesting how, you know, your relationship life starts 16, 17, and you carry that like a credit score. Like you start to develop your style of being in a relationship and all of that early, way earlier than you can drink or you can vote or you can drive sometimes. Just very interesting to think about.
I think when Roman gets older, I'm going to sit him down, and Tony's actually very good at being in a relationship. He's really, because you see how he interacts with people. And sit him down and explain things to him like, you can't always be your true self to your wife. If something's bothering you, sometimes you got to just swallow it, you know? Things like that, because people are like, well, if you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Like, no, girl.
Anybody got to love you at your fucking worst. You don't love you at your worst. Statement. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany Alexander's overall, we are a relationship-centric culture. I agree with that, but I think that there are certain relationships that are so benevolent and easy to have. The relationship with your best friend and the relationship with, you know, your parents and the relationship. Some of those things, you know, I'm talking about specifically romantic relationships, because a lot of our whole society is based on relationships, but some of those relationships are a lot easier to maintain because they make you feel good all the time. You know what I'm saying? They are, you know, you ain't supposed to be arguing with your best friend. Like, I mean, y'all can have spats, but it's like, I'm not about to be fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what the fuck am I looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, you my best friend. Like, we don't have, you know, I'm not about to be stressed out about some shit that you doing or you going, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, you know, we all should remember where we all come from and be patient with one another. I think that, you know, what I would tell my son. You having
a son?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you know, but what I would tell him in the event, don't do that to him now because now my feelings hurt. But, you know.
No, maybe you are.
Well, I mean, no. But what I would tell my son is that, you know, my uncles, they used to always tell me, like, girls can wait. And I'll be like, nigga, wait for when, nigga? Because you ain't got no hoes. You an old ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, how long are you gonna wait? But what I think that they meant to say is that it's not even time right now. Like, my life is way longer as an adult than it was with me getting ready to be an adult. That was a short time. And when you look back on it after you have kids and you have responsibility and all that, that short time was your opportunity to cook. For real, to cook. And it's like, you know, after that, you kind of got to eat what you cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is what it is. And so I just think...
yeah, bad decision in your 20s can put you on the wrong path for you. And it's hard to get off of it. I know a lot of people say that you can just bounce around from... It's like, no, it takes a few hops if you got on a bad path.
Absolutely. But also I think, you know, people got to stop being scared. You know, don't be scared to put yourself first sometimes. Like, people wait their whole life in a situation that's not serving them because of what everybody gonna think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like, man, I remember my family was like, you shouldn't do comedy. You should get a job. This is a rough path. It's like, man, if I would have listened to that, I could have ruined the life that I didn't even know was there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who loves me could have ruined my life. Right? And so that lets you know right there that it's like, man, it's okay to not have it all. Oh, she said most people don't know how to be alone. I think that that's something that you're going to have to come to grips with. And unfortunately, a lot of people come to grips with it late in life. Learning how to be alone, learning how to deal with who they are. I think that's when shit becomes, you know, like, that's when you really, you know, look at like your grandparents, be like, man, y'all got it figured out. They learned shit late and they're applying it when nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, one set of grandparents got together early and had 12 kids, and the other set of grandparents got together really late, and they met at like a library. So they were already like, I want to say it was like 40 and 28 at the time, but they were like mature.
You said 40 and 20?
It was a 12-year difference. 28.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a 12-year difference between those ones. But that was a different generation too. That was like when you're 22 and you're a grown ass man.
Well, that's because also, yeah, and everybody looked old as hell. You ever look at grandparents' high school pictures? You be like, God damn, you was a pawpaw in 12th grade. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
we have it sheltered. So we with our family, usually with our immediate family. You know, our mom's cooking specific meals to us. It's all about us. Like, you go back in the day, and if you had a food allergy, they just let you die. It's just like,
ain't that a bitch?
What? You have an
I'm
allergy?
allergic to peanuts, but eat that goddamn peanut butter jelly sandwich. The jelly will kill it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know no better. And I think, yeah, man, when it comes to relationships, like being your best self is something that people sometimes forget to strive to do. I think that they forget that you can be your best self.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that you can be your best self is indulging in CMOS and CMOS style.
All that good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? And so, from CMOS gummies to CMOS gel to applesauce to supplements that include maca root and, all this stuff. We got somebody here that can fucking talk about that.
Look, and I brought some things too. So
Oh,
we have
yeah.
a flavor on the CMOS gummies.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this the mango CMOS gummies. Y'all can
Thank you.
open that one up.
This the mango?
try
Okay,
that.
let me take some of this right now.
uh-huh.
Is this the one I got?
I want to say that I sent
Man,
it.
one of
Yeah.
these was fucking delicious. I was
wanna
like,
say that
God
was it.
damn.
The mango is hitting y'all.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, wait, should I pass this to Amir? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
go
you're
ahead,
good.
One of my
try some,
fingers
too.
are right in it.
That's cool. I'll try one.
Okay.
Mango. I like
Yeah, the
Sorry,
mango. Not too sweet.
Yeah.
Made with CMOS, 85% CMOS, 7% fruit puree, and 7% coconut sugar. That's it. Nothing
Yeah.
extra. No hidden ingredients.
Yeah.
No artificial flavors and colorings. Won't play around with that. It's nothing but that good stuff.
I was talking to Tony the other day.
Why do you talk to Tony without me?
Tony's
I'll be
friend
that
too.
way too. Like you can't be friends with my
So,
friends.
okay.
Right? Like,
Can I tell you?
sure, yeah, please.
We were here the other day shooting some all-deaf content. You were not here. Tony, I was walking in. I was walking out. He was walking to a meeting. I was outside enjoying a blunt with Brent. Shout out to Brent. We were enjoying a blunt. And Tony walks up. Daft he was like, man, I heard about the cartoon. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, it turned out great. He's like, yeah, man, I want to see it. I'm like, bet. I gotta show you. I can't just be sending it out, but I can show you. He's like, cool. And I'm like, hey man, Maya told me that you fuck with them CMOS gummies. He was like, huh, fucking yeah, they're good. I was like, yeah, that's all I need to know. The way he said, I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain reaction.
Sent you an erection. Whoa, I wanna take my time.
It's a certain reaction that people have that lets me know what their experience was with it. And I'm like,
I'm gonna
Okay.
take my time.
like one of my CMOS chefs, I was telling them about the Yang. I've been telling them about the Yang for like a month now. And you know how guys are. They're like, I'm good where I'm at right now. Like, I don't need nothing extra to boost it. I'm good where I'm at. I was like, I'm not saying that you're not good where you are. I'm just saying, take some of that Yang and you'll see
You
what I'm
gotta tell them
talking
niggas, you don't think Goku can fight? Goku can scrap his ass off. He has to go Super Saiyan 4 sometimes.
you know?
Man, look, some of these
yeah.
coochies is Frieza. You know what I'm saying? Like 15 episodes. Join us next time. Will the stroke game continue? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's dope.
Yeah, so the experience has been great for a lot of people. So my CMOS chef, when he came back the next week, he was like, yeah, so I had some of that Yang.
Oh.
He said it like that, like I had some of that Yang. I was like, oh, that's all I needed to hear right there. He was like, yeah, man, I'm just need that in my bundle because I basically give all my employees bundles or whatever their favorites are. And he was like, yeah, make that a part of my bundle.
But see, that's what I'm saying too. Like, there are, certain people, like you said, Eastern medicine, they dabble with different roots and plants and things that are not taught to us. Like, I don't care about, like, I need this in science. I need to see, like, we need to talk about cellular behavior, how certain things affect my cells. I guarantee you that McDonald's will go out of business if they taught the effects of fast food
If we just
to
understood
kids in the
nutrition.
schools.
Yeah.
Which lets me know that I was watching, it's this thing on the History Channel called, like, The Blank That Made Us, right?
Mhm.
And they were talking about how the fast food that made us and how Burger King and McDonald's were like and in this big war. And it came out that beef for the first time had drawbacks. People were like, man, beef's not good for you. People were like, what? It's the first time people had ever heard of that. And so the sale on the hamburger slowed down, and then the Burger King chicken sandwich took off, right? And then McDonald's came with the chicken nuggets that they were going to promote to kids in a kids meal with a toy. And it's like they are literally targeting kids, and we still won't educate them in schools.
Lifelong customers. Because if you get them as children, it's a lifelong customer.
Yeah, I fucking nugget up now.
I mean, I don't know. Things are different. Every state, every school district has a different curriculum. We were taught about these things.
Y'all were taught about what? Fast food and how?
Oh, nutrition, all this stuff, health class.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. We were taught nutrition, but we weren't. Put it like this.
I was taught the food pyramid.
Right, the food pyramid,
that's wrong.
the food group.
Right, that's
pyramid is
propaganda.
Food pyramid is
so
wrong.
we found out that after the fact that that's a lie.
I
always thought
that's
that, like-
one thing I
conspiracies
learned.
in that,
yeah.
too.
I always
sugar
thought that. Why the
industry.
fuck is bread on the fucking food chart when bread has ingredients that's also on the food chart?
Yeah.
It's eggs and bread. It's, you know what I'm saying?
The carbohydrates, some people need them more than others, but they don't need that many. Like for women, for example, like it's just the way our bodies metabolize things. So yeah, bread's essential. It just doesn't need to be that big.
I need to see some fat ass people dead the same way that they showed us sexually transmitted diseases in health class, the same way that they took it that far to be like, we was 8th grade, a lot of us, that was the first pussy we seen, you know what I'm saying, like, god damn, you know what I'm saying, like,
Then they turned it into fat shaming.
yeah,
Because we can't talk about obesity that way.
but
You
I'm
know
not
what
even talking
saying?
about, I'm not even talking about fat, I'm talking about like sick disease, not people who are big, right? But I'm talking about like, I need to see cancer, I need to see, I used to fuck with McNuggets, but then nobody told me the chemicals that's in the fry. I need to see that in order to make an informed decision. I don't do drugs right now except for some weed. I don't fuck around with shit that's not natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dare worked on a nigga like me.
Period. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what I'm saying is that it's just very, very ironic that the same things that we're not warned about are the same things that are lining the pockets of the fucking politicians, the lobbyists, and the corporations.
I would say I'll counter that we are warned about them, because people just don't care. They'd rather just eat. Everyone knows you're not supposed to eat McDonald's. You're supposed to eat, a healthy turkey breast. Everybody knows that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you're a marketing genius, right?
Assuming, yes.
No. If you are a marketing professional, I'll say that. And you know how effective marketing works.
Yeah.
Right? Then you understand why the billboard with the cool cowboy smoking a cigarette is 1,000 times more effective than the small font on the side of the box that said these cause cancer. See, you are a marketing guru, right? Like, legally, they have to put your name on that movie poster, but don't nobody go down to the bottom credits and go through all of them and see. No, it's just legally they have to do it. They know what's going to be eye-catching. Like, they test to see who's going to read what. It's not even in a place or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I mean, you're right. And I'm just pulling this up
before.
that Australia is making it more graphic when you buy cigarettes.
And this is why I didn't know this, but how dope is that? Because that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so you're saying they should sell a Big Mac with Brendan Fraser from The Whale on it. Did you see that movie, The Whale?
Right.
They should sell a Big Mac with that on it. I mean, if you can get that through your legislator,
it mirrors the American diet, so they can't do that because theoretically, a hamburger and French fries should not be that big of a deal.
And technically, you look for calorie for calorie. They did the Super Size Me. Remember, there was a super skinny guy that came in and was like, I eat a Big Mac every day. Well, Big Mac on its own is like 540 calories. What else are you eating? Are you having like 3 liters of soda too? A lot of people are.
Right.
You ever
And
see,
no water.
you ever see them big fat motherfuckers that be on like Maury?
Oh,
And he go to their crib. Oh my God, I be wanting to stop the shit. Well, this morning I had 48 eggs, 17 slices of French toast, Diet Coke,
Frying chicken.
Regular
in
Coke.
bed.
spicy Coke. It's like, God damn. It's like, yeah, like.
You add up their calories and it's like enough for sometimes like 5 people. Yeah.
A week. You eating a week's calories in one day. All right, y'all. Well,
we get
this
you
was
some
fun.
CMOS. You don't have to worry about none of that.
You feel me? So look, check this out. As always, go to NicoKitchenShop.com.
That's right.
Use the promo code CP sent me, and you're gonna get some money, y'all.
Get
How much
that
money, y'all?
discount.
15%.
15% off.
15%
We
off.
got our 4th anniversary coming up this week. So yes, that's 4 years for Nico Kitchen Shop. So we're gonna have a lot of free items on the website, a lot of amazing deals. Just tell me that CP sent you, and I got you.
And I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. Nico worked with a lot of other podcasts, right? I don't want to brag. You know, it's like shout out to my nigga Marcus, shout out to Precious.
On These Hoes.
On These Hoes.
You know.
You know Marcus podcast. These are all my friends'
mainstream.
podcasts.
Okay.
So I got on Nico through them. But the way that the C peeps be showing up and buying product, man, y'all really made me proud, because through this I've been able to, you know, like get a gauge on what our suggestive power is. And really I only want to suggest the most healthy or helpful things. I'm never gonna bring no bullshit in here, you know, whether it's clothing or anything like that. If you out there and you want to, you know, just you want to be represented by a brand that means something, and you know, we're not money hungry and we're not clout chasing, please, like,
Tap
fuck
in.
with us.
For real. The best part about it is, like, if you're a Black-owned business, this is a Black-owned business. Black-owned businesses supporting other Black-owned businesses. Like, that's what it's all about. Us being able to put money into Black-owned media. And then it's a never-ending wheel of gratitude. It works every single time. So
And
tap
when
in, y'all.
And when you tap in with us, you helping Roman.
Come on.
Anyway,
Look, we bring the babies into it.
hey man, for real. I want to thank Brennan for pulling up, even though he dipped to go watch basketball, which I'm about to do too. I want to thank Nico for stopping by. Make sure you go to NicoKitchenShop.com.
Yeah.
CP sent me.
That's right.
I'm gonna put them jokes out. I appreciate y'all telling me. If you on the Patreon, you can hear them jokes. Amir, I don't want them jokes on the YouTube.
Got you.
Y'all can't hear them. Join our Patreon, man, so you can hear some shit before, you know what I'm saying? Be exclusive. Anyway, my name is CP. That's Maya. That's Samir. This is the CP podcast, man. Always the questions, never the answers. We don't know. I don't know. We out. Peace.